Alrighty, I'm back with my paper sewing tutorial. Before I start, I just want to say humongous thank you to all of you that watch my videos and comment, and I hope the camera's okay. You all truly, you mean so much to me, and I know, like I'll never meet, the majority of you in person, but you guys that watch my videos and comment and leave me inspiring, encouraging, and sweet comments, you totally make my day, because as a mom and a woman, and I'm speaking for all of us, as mothers and women, we do so much for everybody else that sometimes you're just, for me, honestly, sometimes I'm like, can everyone just stop asking me for stuff? Talking about my family. You just get so overwhelmed with everything we do because women can handle a lot. So, as rewarding as it is, it's also very draining at times to be a mom and a wife and to try to keep up with everything else that you want to do. And, just try to figure out in this big place called Earth, like where you fit and where you matter. That gets tiring and hard, and you guys are my happy place. Like when I am able to finally do a video and upload it and I read your comments, you guys totally like put smiles on my faces and you recharge me, like you fill up my well. So I just want to say a huge thank you. So if I don't answer my comments right away, it's because I'm stinking busy. If I don't get back to you, please don't ever anyone take it personal, because it's not. It's just mom stuff. This week was super crazy, hectic, busy, and this morning everyone's like, what's for breakfast? And I said, does everyone always have to eat first thing in the morning? Like, cut me some slack. So anyhow, I just wanted to take that minute to say a humongous thank you to all of you, because you're all rock stars. Okay. All right, I won't be mushy anymore. Let's get to some sewing. So I had some questions on how I sew on paper. Now, I have this machine you're looking at is a Kenmore, and I love Kenmore. This was my original first sewing machine. Well, actually my second. My first one was a Singer. I got it many years ago. I think I gave it to my daughter. I can't even remember what happened to that machine. That'd be interesting to find out. I think I might have given it to my mom. Anyhow, I got a Kenmore when I started taking sewing lessons, and then when I really got into sewing a few years in, I bought a Bernina, which is my pride and joy, and she's upstairs on her shrine. No, I'm just teasing. But Kenmore is a great, if you're going to sew. Now, I don't like sewing paper on the same thing I'm going to sew fabric on. So basically now my little Kenmore here is just devoted to paper crafting, and if I ever do buy another machine, I will definitely get a Kenmore for my sewing, for upstairs in my sewing room. I'm probably talking way too much, so let me get on with it. I've only had quarter cup of coffee. So, yeah. So this Kenmore's down here. I keep it right next to my table, so when I need it, I just pull it up and I sew. Depending what I'm sewing, if I'm just stitching on like a tag or just something to add some, little decoration, some interest, I just use regular old cotton thread. Okay, this is what you see here, just regular old sewing. I use a Gutermann. It doesn't matter. Coats and Clark is great. I just happen to like Gutermann. And I just use regular cotton thread. If I'm doing something like stitching in signatures in a journal, which if they're too thick, it's tough to do, I use upholstery thread. And it's in the same section as all the other threads, but it's upholstery thread, and it's really tough. It's really thick, and not super thick, but you definitely feel the difference. It's really strong, and so either one is actually fine. But just for, like I said, for just your average stitch on some paper, make it look cute, I just use the cotton. So depending what you want to use. And then I use anywhere from a needle size 12 up to a jean size needle, which I think is like a 16. They're actually called jean needles. This one I have right now is a 14, and it's just a strong, a bigger tip. The bigger the number, the bigger the needle. Okay, let me tell you something about needles. 9 times out of 10, and this goes for sewing on fabric as well, 9 times out of 10, if you're having a problem, it's because you need to change your needle, or you just need to rethread your sewing machine. Sometimes, like I've had people ask, it gets caught up underneath and it gets like tangled. Just pull your thread out completely. Maybe not necessarily the bobbin, but just pull your thread out from your needle and all the way, and just rethread it, because sometimes a thread will come off from one of the little loops that it fits into, and that will mess you up every single time. Or change your needle. When you're sewing, I change my needle every 2 projects, because your needle, the tip is sharp and it gets dull from piercing. Well, you can imagine piercing through paper, it gets duller quicker. So I change my needle. They're cheap. I buy them when they're at Joann's, 50% off of the Notion aisle, so they're inexpensive. So change your needle. Like I said, that goes for when you're sewing fabric as well. Okay, someone asked me my settings. So this is what I do. I play around with it. So let's see. I'll go up here. Right? Okay. Right. We'll do a straight stitch first, and I like, depending what I'm sewing, I like them either real tight, like real close together, or long. So I just play along with it. Right now I'm at width number 4 and length is 2. So let's just see. Okay. Did you hear that little? I think I need a rethread. I might need to change my needle. Did you hear that little, like it caught or something? Yeah, it's a little tangled in there. Oh, no, it's fine. I think I just needed to pull it out. Okay, see how it's small? It's real close. Okay. I like that look. Okay. So when you want to increase, you don't want to make it wider. You want to make your stitch longer. Then I'll just go up to maybe like a 3. So let's see. Go to 3. That made it longer. See that? Oh, the lighting's crappy. Sorry. That's a 3. So that's what I do. I get a scrap piece of paper, which is another good reason to keep these around. I get a scrap piece of paper, keep it at my desk, and then I play first, depending. Like if I have a setting already and I liked it, I knew I liked it the time before, then I'll just go with it. I don't test it. But if I'm like, okay, let's see, I don't remember, which the one that gets me all the time is the zigzag. Okay, so let's do a zigzag. So just play around first before you start. And you can stitch pretty much through any paper. Now, when you layer, it does get thick, so you just have to play around with it. You might break the tip of your needle, which is what I've done. Like I've sewn in a signature, and the paper was real thick, and I broke my needle, but that's okay. They're cheap. You take it out and you just continue. You just replace it and then you go on. So, okay, let's do a zigzag. On my machine is number 5. Okay, so I have the width is 4 and the length is 3. So let's see what that zigzag looks like. See, it's a nice big zigzag. You can see it. It's a nice one. So let's see. I think if I shorten the width, it'll make it a tighter zigzag. We'll find out. No, it actually, well, it made it shorter. Well, yeah, less wide. And it spaced it out a little bit. Watch out. Let me see it. And then we'll monkey around with it. Can you see it? So that's by changing the width down to 2. Oh, can you see? Oh, sorry. I have such a bad angle in here with the light. Okay, so that was the original one, what, 4 and 3? And this is 2 and 3. So let's see. Let's increase the length and see what happens. We'll go number 4. Let's see. Okay, so I want to make it wider. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a really big one, but I'm trying to... Let me see. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, so if you make the length short, like lower, I'm on a number 1. Okay, there we go. I did a number 1. I'm going to show you right now. So I did a length number 1, and that will decrease the distance between the zigzags. And then I made them 6.5 inch wide, or not 6.5, 6.5. So it made the up and down part. See, look, it made it really tall. That's cool. See that? Oh, let me get out of the way a little bit. Hope you can see. Good. So you see, you can do all kinds of different things. And then some machines have like some decorative stitching. You know, you could just play around with it. It's lots of fun. So that's how I stitch on paper. I just use, like I said, usually a number 14. Usually I use a number 14. If I'm doing something pretty heavy, I'll go up to, like I said, a jean needle. I use regular old cotton thread if I'm just doing paper. If I'm stitching something where I really want to make sure, like for instance, when I stitched these little manila folders, I did the upholstery thread right there, just because I wanted to make sure that it doesn't come apart, which it probably shouldn't come apart anyways. You're not going to be like pulling on it. It's not like a pair of jeans or anything. But, you know, if it's in my machine, I don't want to get up and grab the other thread. I'll just use it. So, and it adds so much. So this is the next journal, the envelope journal. Let me move this out of the way. I can show you. Oh, curses. Drop stuff. Okay, this is the next envelope journal that I'm working on. Give you a little sneak peek of the back. I put Call to Shine right here. I love that. It came out of a yoga magazine. It was a big sun, and in it, right in the center, was Call to Shine. We are all called to shine. I believe that with my whole heart. Some circumstances make our light not as bright as we know that it is, but we're all called to shine. We are all called to be beautiful and to contribute and to be amazing. So, yeah, anyhow. Okay, I zigzagged. Got off subject there for a second. I zigzagged all the way around, you could see. And it just really adds to your project. Look at that. I love it. I love it. So this one I just used that same thread and the needle that I had in there. And I just really like what it adds. So, and it's really fun to like